Hi, guys. It's Marlene of Living Your Best Life, and welcome to the Sunday Talk Show. It is Sunday, September the 26th, 2021, and today we are going to cover the topic of personal growth. And our guest co host is going to be Paula Benson. So we're going to welcome her. But before then, I'm checking in on everybody, saying welcome to everyone. And of course, I'm going to do a shout out to all the members of my channel. My members are Beverly Black, Boss Life Online, Tony Clopton, Melissa King My Econ, Van Life with Gina, Edward Smart, Tracy Ocean Fire 777, Be Amazing Sylvia, Marlin Music Channel, Pittsburgh Artist Studio, Pandy's Hair Candy and more, Dunamis Sound Mind Services, Bozo Calvin Jr., and Barry Johnson. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started with My Best Life Crew song. So let's go.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Sunday Talk Show. Thank you so much for either being in the live show or watching the replay. It's very much appreciated. And before I get started, I have to say, do my introduction. On this channel, I do positive, motivating, and encouraging videos and live streams. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so right now. Thank you so much. So I'm going to start off by seeing who is in the chat and welcome them. So welcome in Boss Life Online. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you're doing great. Thanks for always supporting me and being a member of my channel. And we also have Freddie. Hi, Freddie. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. I am doing great. And thank you so much for sharing me. And Edward Smart. Hi, Edward. Edward is another one of the members on my channel, and I always appreciate he's very supportive. So thank you so much for being here, Edward, and I hope you're doing great as well. So today, guys, I have a very special guest for you guys. Today's topic is personal growth. Right? We're going to talk about personal growth. And my guest co host today is Paula Benson. And I'm going to let her do her introductions and everything. So I'm going to invite her up. So let's welcome Paula to the Sunday Talk Show.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Sunday Talk Show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, for those who don't know about you, I just want you to introduce yourself and your channel.
Of course, you know my name is Paula Benson, and I am a singer-songwriter. And my channel, maybe this has happened to many of you at the beginning of starting a YouTube channel. You have all these different little things, but the way I look at it, my channel is about me, but it's mainly about me as a singer-songwriter doing classic jazz music. When I'm on stage, I do classic jazz, classic R&B, some pop, not that much, and some little bit of R&B today, but mainly classic jazz and classic R&B. But that's what my channel is about. It's about me as a singer-songwriter and the songs that I love singing.
Awesome, Paula. Awesome. So I'm going to get right into the first question that I have for you.
You want me to, is this loud enough, Boss Online?
Oh, they said they can't hear you.
Yeah.
I think they said you're too far away from your device. If you could move closer to your device or turn your volume up or something.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Much better.
I'll try not to be loud as if I'm singing.
Yeah, I have a soft spoken voice too, Paula, so you're in good company.
Okay.
So the first question that I have for you, Paula, is no, the second one. Tell us some about what you want to share about your past, your growing up, your adulthood. Let us find out about who is Paula and what are some of the things that you would like to share with the audience.
Well, what I remember, what's very important about what I would like to share the most, I remember hearing a country artist state, someone had asked him the question, if there was anything in his past he would change, and he said no. And I had to think about it, and now I understand it. Yes, I have negative things in my past, but I have positive things. And let me tell you a little bit about when I was growing up. I would compare myself, and I know Marlene has had a topic on this. I would compare myself to some of the cute girls in my school, and I would put myself either here or there, whether they were prettier than me or whether or not they weren't as pretty as I was. Not that I would put anybody down who was prettier than me, who weren't as pretty as I thought I was, but that's how I would do. And that kind of throughout my life, that negativity, now that did not keep me from reaching my goals, but it was a shadow. And we don't need shadows over us. We have enough of those because we're imperfect. But um, that was one thing I do remember about my childhood. I was also a majorette, which when I just mentioned to you that I didn't let the negativity keep me from moving forward. I went towards being a majorette and I made it. There's a funny story about that, but that might be for another topic. And so as I grew up, I made different goals about what I wanted to do. The first one, of course, was to be a majorette, and then like when I was in my early 20s, I wanted to be a singer. So I remember sending Smokey Robinson a letter. Now, you know that man didn't pay no more attention to that letter. But how many of us had the nerves to do something like that? But then, of course, and well, I'll wait for the next question because I'll jump ahead. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else.
Oh, tell the audience a little bit about, were you the only child? Did you have siblings? And if you want to share where you grew up.
My mother has three children, and I'm the oldest of the two boys. My father has four. I'm the fourth one, and I'm the oldest of the three boys. So in total, I have five brothers. But I grew up with my mother's two sons, which, yeah, we grew up together and we did funny things together and ripping it. Hey, Miss Fugaroa, how are you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, boss. Boss line. Boss life online. How are you? I'm just gonna call you boss because you act like a boss, if you don't mind.
She is a boss.
Oh, but
Oh,
yeah, as a kid, we did our things together, and there were things I was afraid of, like climbing, but there were things that I would do that was daring, like jumping off of banisters that were way up high and jumping down. I could have broke my leg, but that was just some of the things that I did. And I was in the choir, the choral group when I was in high school, and I sung soprano, and I loved doing that. but I still had this kind of shadow over me about what I could and couldn't do. But then sometimes I would just, you're going to find out a little bit more about me as to how I am, what
Mhm.
makes me move. But that's basically what I always love. Oh, yeah, I love singing, love listening to music. When I was in maybe a young teenager, my musical style changed from R&B to rock. So I used to listen to the Rolling Stones. Well, some of you may not know who these groups are, but it was a
Mhm.
lot of British groups, so I'll just say it that way.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
of course, when I became an adult, I got married. I didn't have any kids, and so in the 90s, that's when things started rolling towards me becoming a singer songwriter. I love you too, boss.
Miss Roller says she still can't hear you. Do you have your volume on your device all the way up?
Let me check. Yes, I'll just talk louder.
Yeah.
If that, I'll just talk louder.
Okay. Okay, that's good, Paula. Continue. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's fine. And so when I didn't for once I got married, the stuff about being a singer just kind of phased out. I was more into trying to be a wife and to be
Mhm.
happy, to cook, which I didn't know how to cook when I first got married. So I use
Yeah.
my
Paula, we want to hear about that.
well, I used to use him as a guinea pig. The only thing I could cook was of course I could boil an egg. I could cook what we call steak eggs, but I never could cook like chicken, fried, cook collard greens and stuff like that. My mother asked me one day to come into the kitchen and she said, "Girl, come in here and cut this chicken." And I said, "I don't know how to cut no chicken." Yeah, I was one of those kids that talked back.
Ooh.
But I inherited from my mom because I could tell you a story that she told me when she was in her 90s. But anyway, so I tried to cut the chicken. I could cut, in between with the legs, but I couldn't cut the wings. So she said, "Girl, that's all right. Go on." So I was glad because
Mhm.
I just wanted to I love dancing, singing. I didn't want to be in no kitchen cooking. I wanted to eat, but I didn't want to cook. So going back to my ex-husband, I used him as a guinea pig. We had these recipe cards from Betty Crocker. So I got the recipe cards and I would cook different things. And I had asked his mom one day, "How do you cook rice?" And I still do this the same way. She said, now it was just him and I because I could stick my finger in there. She said, "Measure it from where your little finger is. That's where the water would go. So it wouldn't be sticky." So I did that. And the Betty Crocker cards, I would use those cards to make different little meals. So one day I made this meal called porcupine, rice porcupine. What it is, you put the rice, you cook it, and you put it in the ground beef. So it's like a porcupine. So he kind of liked it. But
Kinda.
yeah, he kind of liked it. One time I called myself baking a pie. So there's an old commercial where this lady, she has a choice to use lard or Crisco. So she used the lard, and when she stuck her fork into the pie, the whole pie came up. So that's the kind of pie I made. Pies are supposed to be flaky, not
Yeah.
like that. But he stuck with me, and I got better and I got better until the time I had to try to cook chitlins.
Ooh, you're brave.
So he told me, he said, "That's all right. I'll only eat one person's chitlins, and that's my own." I was so upset. I said, "Well, I'm going to eat them all myself," but they didn't taste good. Ugh.
Wow.
They didn't taste good at all. That was the last time I called myself making chitlins. I know Miss Forola doesn't eat chitlins, but when she did, if she did, she knows all about that.
Yeah, she knows about it. Okay, so I got a question for you. Okay. So this topic today is personal growth. That's what the topic is today. So some things that can help you to achieve personal growth is, first of all, you have to find out who you are and what you want. And sometimes that's the biggest discoveries that you have to make in order for you to be happy and to achieve the goals that you want. Because if you don't know who you are, what you want, and where you want to go, the direction of your life is scattered all over the place. You'll just be following every and everything. So you kind of have to know who you are, what you want, so that you can know who you are as a person and know which direction that you want to go. So the number 3 question that I have for you is, how did your personal growth journey begin?
Well, I've been married more than once. My second husband went to school at Tuskegee, and so he got to meet a lot of musicians. And he knew that I love singing, so he introduced me to a guy that played piano. And can Miss Forola hear me now? Can she hear me better?
I hear you just fine, but I have speakers on my laptop, so I hear you excellent, but I don't know if everybody else does. But I think to me, you sound fine.
Oh, okay. I was laughing at what she said about the chitlins. So he introduced me to a guy that did my first tape so that I could perform for this. There was a some school or somebody was having a talent show. So that kind of moved me forward. And then there was a good friend of mine that I work with at an insurance company. She was quitting being the sound person for this guy that sung R&B. So she said, "Well, I'll introduce you to him, and then you could go ahead and do it." And then that's how I got started with singing backups for him. He was a local artist in my hometown here, and I was with him for maybe about a year or two. Oh, good. Okay, April Smart, how are you doing?
And when you say you were doing backup, um, explain to us what that means.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was a backup singer for him for all the songs that he was singing, as well as doing the sound, because he used a drum machine that had all the music programmed into the machine, and that way he didn't have to worry about playing keyboards. Even though he was a very good keyboard player, he mainly wanted to do his singing. It's better sometimes in certain situations to do less technical stuff than having to do a lot of technical stuff, because machines will sometimes break down. Oh, she says she hears me. Okay, good.
Yes, she hears you fine. So, so how did you feel going into singing backup? What was it, your first time doing backup?
Let's see. It was fine with me because I wanted to sing. I don't remember if I was usually I'm not afraid to sing. I'm usually real nervous in front of people I've never seen before. But I got used to it. The first song that I did with him is "Don't Want to Change the World." That's by, I know who she is. She
I think
also,
that's Eric Clapton.
oh
Clapton.
no, 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 this is a
Clapton.
woman. This she wore these beautiful hats, real tall, like 6 feet high. Unfortunately, she took her life.
Oh, that's Phyllis Hyman.
Yes, Phyllis Hyman. That was one of the first songs that I did backing him up. Well, I did that myself. That was me as a front artist. So he would allow me to do some songs myself, but mostly I backed him up as a singer.
Awesome. Awesome. That took a lot of courage for you to be able to do that. I know you don't feel like it, but it does.
Oh, okay. Well, because of the fact that I sung a lot in school and then at home a lot, I guess it was just like, okay, I'll do it. I want to do it. So this go. I'll just do my best. That's all I can do.
And you said that was around the time you say you were in college at the time.
Well, I had quit going to school to major in music. I was it was kind of difficult because I didn't have a car and my school was like maybe about an hour away. And I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning just
Ooh.
to catch the bus, the first bus, to catch the second bus to get to school. That
Mm.
was at that time I was more into guys.
Ooh, spill some tea.
I was more into men than I was into what it took to be to go to school to major in music because
Hmm.
it took a lot. You had to practice. I didn't have a piano either.
Mm.
So there were a lot of things my mother was not able to give me, which one was a piano. And like I said, we didn't have a car, but that didn't stop me. I did catch the bus. But eventually I phased out. I can't quite remember why I phased
Hmm.
out. Oh, yes, I do.
There were some obstacles. Let's
It
just say
was,
there were some obstacles in your path, right?
no, it was a guy.
Oh,
It was a guy.
so you was boy crazy. You
Yeah,
had
I
them
was. I
stars
really,
in your eyes.
I really was. I was. So I was detoured in his direction. And unfortunately, he did not graduate from high school. So with the fact that I had graduated and um, going to school to major in music, that kind of made him feel like I thought I was better than him. So
Yeah. So a little green monster.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jealousy arose in him. Boss Han said, well, boy crazy.
Well, if a guy looks good in my eyes, even now I have to be careful. I have to I remember this guy I dated and I told him I liked him so much. And I liked him also because he was a conga player. And I
Oh.
told him, I said, let me tell you this right now. Don't try to get in the way with my music because you will not succeed.
Mm.
But
He
that's
didn't like
another
that.
story.
He didn't like that, huh?
No, he was fine with it because he was a
Oh,
conga player and he played with a lot of bands.
okay.
So it was fine with him. So he said he wouldn't try to do that.
Okay. As long as he was okay with it, sometimes that can be the biggest problem. You can tell somebody and then they say they're okay with it, and later on it becomes a problem.
Yeah, that is true. But I had gotten to that point where with my second husband that I wasn't going to allow anybody to keep me from pursuing my goal because the way I am, if you're trying to pursue a goal and I'm married to you, look at her, talking about I was boy crazy. If I'm trying to pursue a goal, I want you behind me and not behind me. I want you right next to me. But you can
Mhm.
push me, that's fine. But if you have some things that you need help in, I'm there for you. I will not get in your way. I'm not one of those ones. You need to stay home. Why you got to be going all the time? No, 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 no. I
Mhm.
do want you to spend some time with me, but no.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Paula. I'm one of the biggest supporters of whoever I'm with. Your biggest, what did they call that? Cheerleader. I'm the biggest cheerleader for them. But listen, if they tell me something that's going to go against my goals, it's not going to work out. It won't, because I've been that way my whole life. I'm a hustler, so I go after what I want. So I think that's important.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
that's so important. Okay, number. Um, did I ask you number three? No, I didn't ask you number four yet. Tell us about some times when you struggle to reach your goals.
Well, I'll jump further ahead. Well, I'll go back just a tiny bit.
Okay.
The gentleman that I used to back up as a backup singer, eventually what happened was we added, or rather he added, not me. He added three more ladies with him.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem I had with them was they were always late for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came, the first thing they did, they went to the bar to get a drink. And I had already gotten, I'm ready. I would arrive ahead of time. So eventually I decided, well, what he did was he left. He went to Europe to perform for about a year. So that left us, it was four girls, but one young lady left because she was having problems with the other two.
Okay.
So it was the three of us performing. But as I mentioned, they were never on time. And something that occurred that pushed me away from them. And there was this other guy that had did something for me. He did a backup tape for me of one of Jody Watley's hits
Mm-hmm.
songs from the 80s. And so what happened was the girls had gotten this show together. And when I got there, they came. And so in the room where we were changing our outfits, they said, well, Paula, we decided that we're just going to be singing. We're not going to let you sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, okay. So this musician who had did the tape for me, he found out because he was doing the sound for them. He was mad as fire.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back there and told me, he said, I'm going to say as much as I can remember, and I'm going to say it the way he said it. He said, don't you ever let nobody tell you what you can and cannot do. I made that tape for you and I wanted to see how it sounded. Don't you ever do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I decided that particular day, I'm going to do one more show with them, and I've had it. I will not do another one with them. So we did one more show, and I decided I'm gone. And I told them I'm going solo. And I told the other guys, there was another group that did a lot of the Temptations music. They were so good. And I said, no. They tried to convince me. I said, no, I'm not doing that because you're not gonna keep me. And the way I felt, those girls had better voices than I did. Not better voices, but in a sense I felt that they did because they were in more control. I mean,
Wow.
they could sing their head off. I would be thinking about this, that, and the other, and just but I was a good entertainer. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, my brother even mentioned to me, he said, I think they were jealous of you. Of what? I was just doing my thing.
Yeah.
Some of my thing I don't do no more because I would sit on the guys' laps as I was.
Oh.
I don't do that no more.
I know. I know. It's some of the things that you used to do in the past. I know. I feel you. I understand.
I don't do that no more. But so when I moved to Atlanta, one of the biggest struggles I I had met this young lady that she was an agent and she could get me gigs. But my problem was I didn't have all the gear. I didn't have a band. And to get a band, you had to have gigs. So I was like in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite know what to do. So but I do need to backtrack. The last insurance company that I worked with, I was so scared to move forward because I thought I needed all my ducks in a row. I didn't have the money to move to Atlanta. I
Mm-hmm.
was so scared. And a friend of mine, she said, you don't need no money. You're going to always have bills. You need to go ahead and leave.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. But I didn't move. I was too scared. And so that's one of the things that will hold me back, wanting to have all my ducks in a row. That one of the other struggles that I had met Bear White, and he told me I got my there. I'm not sure if it was his godson or whatever. He was with RCA Records. He said, "Here, give him a call." And so I called, and the receptionist answered. She said, "I can set you an appointment. Do you want it?" I said, "No,
What?
that's all right."
Come on, Paula. Time out. Time out. Time out. So you're saying you had somebody tell you you could have the gig and you didn't do it? You met Barry White, everything?
I met
What,
Bear White. I
and what
booked
was
it the
stopping
night.
you?
I was scared. This is what I said to myself when the receptionist asked me. She said, when she said, would you like an appointment with him? I said, I'm saying to myself, I don't have any money to go to no New York, and where am I going to stay? So I scared myself out of it.
Oh.
But it was all right. It was all right because I tell myself now, if truly, and I'm being honest, I'm not putting myself down. If I had been in the music business, they would have ate me alive. That's a dog, pit bull world. And
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of naive a little until you mess with my money, then I get nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Naive, easygoing. I respected people, and
And you're too sweet as well. You're
yeah,
too sweet.
yes,
I
yes, yes,
see. I can recognize it because I have the same problem. I have the same problem. People will abuse you when they say, "Oh, she won't say anything." So you do have to learn to speak up for yourself and protect yourself and your space and your money.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle was that always too scared to move forward because I thought, oh, I need the money to do this. I need the money. Oh, my money has to be. But I did end up in Atlanta because I struggled to get there. When I say struggle, I continued to pay my monies for my rent in Florida. And then the manager allowed me to send monies gradually for my other apartment. So once
Okay.
I ended up moving to Atlanta, but I worked in Chattanooga. So once I came back to actually living in Atlanta, my struggle started with, okay, I don't have a band because I don't have a gig, and no band, no musician is gonna even pay attention to me because I don't have a gig. How do I get a gig?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't let that stop me. What I did, I just continued to perform for festivals, and I'll stop right there because I'll still go too far ahead.
No, keep going. Keep going, Paula. I'm
Okay,
enjoying it. Keep going.
so I did festivals, the Sweet Auburn Festival. I did that, and oh, this was a struggle. Um, do you have, and if so, how do you deal with the feelings of self doubt? I pray a lot because even now, sometimes when I get on stage, I get scared, and I have to do a lot of talking as well to myself. Okay, now, Paula, calm down. Ain't nothing to be afraid of. Calm down, girl. Because sometimes I don't rehearse as well as I should, so that scares me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, there's a song that I do that Luther Vandross does, or rather did. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Never Too Much, and that's a tough song to sing. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of instrumentation, the music is moving fast, and sometimes due to lack of sleep, the words don't come quick enough, or I may
Mm-hmm.
not hear the music because there's so much stuff going on in my mind. And I have to tell her, calm down, girl, calm down. And matter of fact, if you went to sleep last night, you wouldn't have this problem.
So you're saying that you have to psych yourself up. You have to amp yourself up to get yourself ready. And
Yes,
I find that sometimes that can be a problem, is that when you can kind of talk yourself out of things, and you can also make yourself fearful too as well.
true, true, true. But I generally, because of where I am now, I will go ahead and talk myself to shut up. Stop showing that movie. Get out of that movie theater. Come on here now. And then
Hmm.
it turns out, from a musician friend of mine, he told me you're not always on cue. And I learned this by watching a video that Donnie Simpson did with Aretha Franklin. We're
Hmm.
not Singers are not always on cue. We're no different than anybody else. Sometimes, like, I have a video out there, and you'll find out that I have some funny videos of what has happened to me when I'm getting ready to perform, or like one video I have of a guy I met. I didn't really meet him. I was headed to the train station. Excuse me. I was on the train headed to the studio, and there's
Right.
this guy. I see him because I love looking at people. This is when I lived in Atlanta, and I see him get on the train, and he has blood in his ear, dried blood. And I'm saying, "Oh, please don't sit by me. Please don't sit by me."
Mm.
He sat right by me.
Lord. Mm.
Ooh, wee doggy. But I still laugh at this today.
Did you make a song about it?
That sounds pretty good.
Because as a poet, that's what I do. I let the things that scare me or things that I didn't want to do, I turn it into a make it be some information, make it be a song for you. I write poems about things that scare me or things that I'm upset about. Let it be some fuel for you.
Well, I did write a song about my second husband. It's
Oh.
called Love Pains.
I watched it yesterday, child.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, even I cried. I had to settle. I said, that, that that's over it. Well, stop. Stop. I said, oh, but look at me. Oh, stop. But yeah, the struggles. So, as I was mentioning about the gentleman, I laugh at this today. When he got up to get off the train, he looked at me. He said, "You ain't all that anyway." So I turned around.
What?
Yeah, he said
Where did
that.
that come from? Did you say something to him or you had a conversation?
Well, it was because I didn't want to have a conversation, because he had that dried blood in his ear, and he was kind of dirty. I'm wondering, what has he been doing all night long? Wow. Oh, goodness. And I wasn't trying to be better than him, but dried blood. Oh, and it was the dried blood was next to me.
Mm.
So I turned my head, and I laughed so hard I cried. I still laugh to this day. I have a video on that. Oh, the lamp is on. What did she say? It's something like that, about
Hmm.
what this lady said to me. So I've
Yeah.
had my struggles, but I don't let them stop me when it's a goal that I really want to reach. So going back to that particular struggle that I had once I moved into Atlanta, as I mentioned, but I kept moving forward. And one thing I found out that's very, very important, as you mentioned, you got to know yourself. Now, I moved to Atlanta to do music, and I remember sending my CD package to LaFace Records. Come on now.
Ooh, baby face. Ooh.
No, the lady said, no, we didn't accept it, and she shouldn't have. I didn't sing no hip hop.
See, but Paula, but at least you were brave enough to try. I think sometimes that people are afraid to even step out on faith enough to, try something, to do something, send your package, send your PR stuff to somebody. That takes a lot of bravery and courage to be able to do that. Even if you get rejected, it's that you're putting yourself out there and believing in yourself enough.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll look at it that way. So, when she said that was when I was still in Florida. But then, of course, when I got to Atlanta, and the reason why I say that I was glad they didn't accept me, they may have tried to mold me into somebody I'm not. I'm a jazz singer. I'm not hip hop. I can't imagine me being like TLC with my britches hanging down. No, that wouldn't look good. That's not me.
Yeah,
That's not
that's it, it would not have fitted you anyways because that's not who you are.
no, because I love wearing gowns and hats and pretty jewelry, and
Mhm.
that's not my profile for entertaining because I sing classic jazz.
Mhm.
So I say that I didn't know at the time that I needed to be in a state or a city, I should say a city, where I did the kind of music, but I didn't know what kind of music I didn't know what kind of music that I needed to be singing. I learned that later. And that was one of my struggles of not knowing who I was, not knowing. You have to have a lot of knowledge as to into the business. You got to know what kind of music you sing.
Mhm.
You need to learn something about the music industry. If you're a singer songwriter, you need to know how to write songs.
Mhm.
And there's a format that I do remember from music school in Florida
Mhm.
on how to, there's a certain formula that you have to write. You can't deviate it. Well, you can if you want to, but it's not that. It's not good. So there's it takes a lot of knowledge. It just takes a lot of things that at the time I didn't know, but I was moving. I joined the songwriters organization, which at that time, which doesn't exist anymore, was GMIA, Georgia Music Industry Association, so I could learn how to write songs, so I could learn to meet. Um, oh, I can't think of this guy's name. He dated Janet Jackson at one time. He's kind of
Oh, JD,
not yeah
Tremaine Dupree.
yeah Tremaine.
Mhm.
So I met a lot of people by being a part of that organization about points, um, your contract, getting a music attorney. Now, you want to hear? I got a story on that.
Yeah, let's hear it, Paula. While I start fanning myself, you go
Oh,
ahead and tell the story.
um, there was this I needed a music attorney for some reason. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I found one in the yellow pages,
Mhm.
and so I went there to meet him, and he told me this, that, and the other. And this is what he told me. He said, "You don't look like no jazz singer." I said, "Well,
Mm.
what does a jazz singer look like?" And then right after that, he said, "Well, I got a friend that's a producer." I'm saying to myself, "Oh, I don't look like no jazz singer, but you got a friend to produce me. Okay, I get this. You just do what I ask you to do, and then I'll pay you the money and I'm gone." See, those are the kind of people you'll run. Not everybody, because I met
Mhm.
a lot of people that helped me out greatly. But if you have low self-esteem, which I kind of did, but I was moving, getting
Moving
better,
ahead.
you would let stuff like that put you down, and you won't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and
So they prey on the people who are gullible.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
And so once, let's see. Oh, I had a situation that happened where I had an accident in a car. Someone hit me from behind.
Mm.
Now, most people would use that money to pay bills.
Tell us, Paula, what did you do with that money?
I use it to get my CDs and to produce my CDs, and
Mhm.
also to get musicians to help me to finish my CD.
Well, that's okay. I thought you were going to say something like you went and traveled and blew all your money out and had the time of your life.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, my goal was to get my CDs done. That by
Okay.
that time, I had stopped. I had come to the realization you are not going to be with LaFace Records, so stop it. And by that
Oh, so
time,
you were still hurt by that.
No, 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 I wasn't. I just came to a realization. I had to realize that that wasn't going to happen. No, I
Mhm.
was not only, I had the shape, but I was in my 40s. And most of the people that they were, that's my cell phone going off.
Oh
Most of
yeah,
the
that's okay.
most of the people that they were hiring are as singers, they were probably in their 20s and 30s. Oh, I thought there was somebody talking in my house. I'm the only one talking.
You was like, what's about
So, so I had decided, okay, I need to do something different, and I'm going on my own. So I
Mhm.
had all my CDs, and I had a lot of people that encouraged me on the job that I was working at another insurance company. So I sold all of my CDs. I had like either 500 or 1,000, and I sold them all.
Oh, can I interrupt you for a second? I meant to ask you this a little earlier.
Okay.
You said you had got a music attorney. Can you explain to those of us who don't know, what does a music attorney help you to do?
A music attorney looks at a music contract that you
Hmm.
may get either from an agent or a record company, and they will thumb over that music contract and they will tell you yay or nay. If you guys remember, you may or you may not, in the 80s when Tony Braxton was kind of dogged out by LaFace Records,
Yeah. And she went bankrupt.
what happened was either she did not have a music attorney or she did and she didn't listen.
Oh.
Because he or she will tell you the pros and cons. Like one music attorney I had when I was in Florida, there was a guy that wanted to be my manager. And what he wanted was he wanted all of the monies to go to him. So my music attorney told me, don't do that. When you get a gig, tell them to send the monies to you. And that's how many
Oh.
musicians and singers have been ripped off. Money's going to the manager, money's going to the
Yeah.
producer. You don't do that. Do like Oprah. What she tell us?
She said she signs every check.
Yes, and that money's coming to her
I
first.
got that part, boy. I took out my pen and paper and wrote that down. Sign every check. Okay. Let me go to my next question that I have for you. Hold on a second. Okay, I asked you about the times when you struggled to reach your goals. Number 5, how did you get through them?
Let's see. Well, I realized I had to buy equipment and I had to just go ahead and get the gigs first and then get a band. And that's when it started rolling for me.
Hmm.
Can I have some of your supper, please? Let's talk about it with Anita.
Yeah, Anita, we all hungry. Sorry to interrupt you, Paula.
Oh,
Go
that's
ahead.
okay. So, with the music attorney, so that's what he will do for you. And it's up to you or the singer or the producer who's trying to get into the business to whether or not they will listen or not. But the
Okay.
wise thing is to get a very good music attorney. Please do not use the manager on the label. They're working for the label. They're not going to work for your best interest. But make sure a person get that music attorney and listen, even if you are afraid because you sometimes you want to get into that music business so bad and you won't listen. Do
Hmm.
you remember the case of oh, not let's see, who were these guys with? I can't think of their names right now. There are a lot of people you heard in on Entertainment Tonight or BET um, about them going broke and the label made all the money.
Well, I know one of them was Backstreet Boys.
Oh, I didn't know that happened to
Oh
them.
yeah, Backstreet Boys. That's the reason all the money was going to whoever that guy was that was managing. He got all the money, and after he took his money, then he would give them whatever he wanted to. Because remember, they started really young, so they didn't really know anything about the music industry. So that's why you don't really see the Backstreet Boys because they never made any money. All the money went to the lawyer. I mean, not the lawyer, their manager.
No, no. That's another thing I learned just when I was performing with the gentleman here in Florida. He had a manager, but he had a very good manager that worked with him for a long time. And I just knew I needed a very good manager. Um,
Right.
and I needed that attorney to look over things
Mhm.
first, and then I was willing to, because like I mentioned, I would get very mad if you mess with my money. So I had to realize, okay, you better do this right, you better do this right.
Right. We have a question from the audience. Donning just being real is asking Paula, how do you feel about husbands being managers? Be honest with us. She said no. Paula says no.
And you remember, well, you guys maybe not remember her. She was a country artist. No, he didn't steal her money though. No, he didn't steal her money. No, because no, no. The gentleman that I was married to, they weren't into that. They weren't into music. I was into the music. No, 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 no.
Well, I think it depends on if they're in the industry or not. You don't think so?
No,
No, I just don't do it.
I know, but there was a country artist whose husband was her manager, but I cannot think of her name. She was very big. Oh, I can't think. I could see her in my face. She was very big in the 90s.
Mhm.
And she kind of fizzled out when, unfortunately, her husband and her best friend were cheating. They were sleeping together.
Hmm. Well, that's the same thing that happened to what is her name? Garth Brooks, because Garth Brooks had a previous wife, and then he went on tour with Trisha Yearwood, fell in love with Trisha Yearwood, left his wife, and married Trisha Yearwood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so I was like, if you gonna go on the road, guess who's going on the road? Me. You ain't leaving me behind. Yes. Yeah. So let me ask my next question. Um, what encouragement can you give someone that doesn't know how to start in order to get have personal growth to achieve their goals?
What I did was I learned and I got all the books I could so that I could learn. I remember one of the magazines that I got was Black Entertainment. Is that the name of it? I'm not sure if it's still around.
Hmm.
It was about how different famous Black people and how they started their business. I got that book, that magazine, and I read everything I needed to read about starting a business. I was scared,
Hmm.
not scared of failing, just scared that I might get there. And
Not you. So you weren't scared of success. You were afraid that you would succeed.
yes, I will.
Hmm.
So I got my books, I read them, I applied them, I applied what I read, and I learned from others. And like I said, by joining this music organization, that helped me a lot because I met a lot of people in the industry and they would talk to us about what we should not do, about points. I got my tax ID from the IRS. That was the first thing I needed to do. And then what type of business, so that if you are sued, what type of business you want to do, what you don't want to do. So as I stated, I soaked in knowledge from others. I got books. I went back to school to become an accountant, but I did make it as far as being able to do certain accounting, but not all of it.
Okay.
I had some struggles where I ended up getting real ill and I was hospitalized. So I just didn't finish doing it. I finished school, but I didn't go as far as being a CPA.
Yeah.
So with all of that knowledge, it helped me to be able to know how to run a business, how to pay my taxes, because I didn't want to be like Red Fox. I didn't want to
Yes.
be like oh, I love his
S-
voice. He sung oh,
Sammy Davis Jr. was another one who died
yeah,
broke.
yeah, he was another one. There were a few singers that ended up owing the IRS. And let me tell you something about the IRS. They don't care who you are, what color your skin are, what your gender, how much money you aren't making. They don't care. They will come at you when you least expect it. They will send you notices. You don't pay attention to those notices. When you least expect it, knock knock, we came to get this, we came to get that fancy car of yours, your bank account has been locked, but I
Yeah.
gotta pay my electric bill locked. And so
Yes.
I tried to make sure. Oh, the new that happened in New Edition too.
Yeah. That's why they disbanded. They didn't have no money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just thought because they were having so many issues with different guys that they decided to go
That
ahead.
too. There was a lot of ego. There's a lot of testosterone going on.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
So that knowledge is so very powerful. You got to know about your business. You got to know about your business. And that's what I'm learning from you and Boss and Primpin. I haven't gotten to some of the other channels. And even Miss Full Roller,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't talk about her business, but you can tell she's a business person because and sometimes I'll get up early in the morning. I said, she's on this early in the morning. I said, my goodness, that woman works. But she knows what she has to do to make that business work. It's not going to work on our own. It's not
Yep.
going to do it.
Yep.
Oh, Edward Smart said, all the IRS sees is green. Yeah.
Exactly. And they want their money. And I have been through that. I have family members that have actually they've had their paychecks garnished. If you
Oh,
don't pay them what they owe, they're gonna go into your account, clean it out, and call your job and say how much do they get paid, and they're gonna take your future pay before you even make it.
yeah.
So play with the IRS.
Yeah, you don't play with them.
Mm-mm.
Is there another question you want to ask me?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I think I asked you what encouragement can you did I ask you that one encouragement can you give someone that doesn't know how to start? Did I ask you that?
Yeah, you did ask me that. And
Okay.
also, I would say too, don't be afraid because
Mhm.
we'll scare ourselves out of pursuing that goal. Be cautious, but don't be afraid. And the reason why I said be cautious because I remember I had answered an ad, and this guy needed a singer. At that time, I had lost my car.
Mhm.
I didn't let that stop me. Um, and I got on the bus and I had asked ahead of time, well, how do I get to such and such a place? Nobody knew. So I got off the bus. I'm in my 3-inch high heels and my black suit with my white blouse, walking down this long, dark areas where there are a bunch of warehouse. Matter of fact, Bobby Brown's studio was located in that area. I'm the only one just walking, looking around, just walking. And it's getting dark, and I'm looking for this. It was an area where they still have it in Atlanta. It's an area where bands go and rehearse.
Mhm.
I had no idea, and it's getting dark, and I'm just walking, but I didn't want to turn around. So
Mhm.
I kept walking. So that's what I mean. You have to be cautious. So
Yes.
you have to use your common sense. I was just so determined. I said, I'm gonna get there. I found the place. I found it.
Oh, that's good. Well, we have something in the chat. I don't know if you want to do it. It's all up to you, Paula, but they're asking you to sing a song.
Oh, I kind of figured something
They're asking you to sing a song. So
out.
it's up to you if you want to do something.
Okay, I have to take some deep breaths because I've gotten so excited.
Okay.
I'll just sing a smidget now because
Okay.
if I hit some wrong notes, you may not want to go to my channel.
Yes, they will.
That's right, because you know what? I've heard some very famous singers hit wrong notes.
Yeah.
It's just human.
Hmm. Give
Okay,
us what you want to give us, Paula.
okay. Oh, I wish I could stand up, but I can't. Then I'll be way above. Let's see. Always and forever, each moment with you is just like a dream to me that somehow came true. And I know tomorrow will still be the same. 'Cause we got a life of love that won't ever change. And every day, love me your own special way. Melt all my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me that you really care, and we'll share tomorrow together. I will always love you. I hope that's enough.
It is, Paula. Wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
I
No,
got
that
tired
was we
now.
didn't even you didn't even rehearse it. That was just spontaneous. That's talent.
Oh, I
Thank you
got
so much
tired.
for that, Paula.
Thank
Everybody's
you.
saying nice in the chat. Good job. So
Thank
I
you.
got two more questions for you. Let's see. What is your goal for the future for yourself?
I want to produce my second CD. And to do that, I need to learn more theory. And what theory is, you learn what notes, the best way I can say it, what notes go together and what notes don't go together.
Okay.
And so I need to learn more theory. I need to learn, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I need to also learn how to mix music better. Also need to learn how to EQ. And what EQ is equalization.
Mm-hmm.
Some in music you'll find that sometimes when you're singing, some music is too loud, some is too low. So you have to get it balanced. And that's a very difficult technique. Starting from the beginning, it's a lot of learning about different drums. You got the snare drum, you got the cymbals, and so they all have to be mixed well, but they have to be balanced as well as the
First.
voice itself. So I have a lot to learn about that. I got to get my monies together well because since COVID-19, a lot of us musicians are struggling because a lot of the venues are not opening. They're not open. Some
Paula,
are
I have a
open.
question for you. Would you ever do a what you call it, what do you call it, like a live concert? And you can have people pay you by means of Cash App, and people would have to pay before to get into your, like, because I've heard people do shows like that.
I do, and I have to get the mics that I have are not for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get a certain mic to be able, because I've tried over and over and over again, and I don't sound good when I'm using. I have a mic that I have to use to do my songs on my CD. So that mic doesn't work. I have another mic that didn't work. So I was sounding loud, squeaky, and I said, "Well, you're gonna have to get another mic."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get that done because I have thought about it, and I'm not gonna go on YouTube singing.
Okay, I got a question from Donna. She's asking, "What's your favorite color?"
Red.
Red. Okay, if you could do a duet love song with who? Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, or Al Green?
I like. I love all three of the guys, but I would like Marvin Gaye because
Yeah, that's a yeah. Let's get
he
it.
plays, boy. I got a song that I started singing that he did many years ago, and it's called "Ain't That Peculiar." Oh, I love that song.
Mhm.
Nah, don't ask me to sing because I don't know all the words yet.
Because that's going to be next. Be careful what you say in my chat. Because they're going to say, "Sing it, Paula, sing it."
But Marvin Gaye was just ooh, and the way he dressed, he was handsome. And now
Mhm.
see with Al Green is more
I
he's
would say
not
Al
as
Green is more soul and gospel.
yeah, and he's
Mhm.
not as the way I am. And Teddy Pendergrass, he is somewhat, but not not like Marvin, not like
Yes.
Marvin. Yeah. So
Okay, so the follow-up question, I asked you what was your goal for yourself. Now the next one, what is your goal for your career?
I still want to be able to sing as long as I can. Tony Bennett just stopped singing, and he stopped only because of the fact that he has it's either dementia or Alzheimer's. They're basically about the same. But I would like to sing as long as I can because I love singing. Uh, my vibes and what I get from singing is I remember this little girl. I was singing this song, and this little girl just came and started dancing, and she just looked up at me and started smiling. And I'm just so tickled to death. I could not hardly sing, which I do have a video out about the little girl, and I be having a conversation about some of my let's see, that's my joy. And of course I love getting paid, but when somebody does that, the little girl, and like the lady, she told me, she said, "Oh, I just love that song because that was a song that my husband and I went on our first date." That was a classical pianist,
Oh,
and they had been married 50 years. So as long as I can continue to sing and write music, and as long as I can do that, that's what I would like to continue to do. I do realize that it may stop, not may, it will stop eventually, but as long as I can do it, and I want to continue to learn about music from people, and because I have a song that I wrote about my mother, two songs, and then there are two songs that I wrote with a gentleman by the name of Anthony Campbell. He lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
mhm.
It's "I Love You," and then another song titled "Be Here for Me."
So Paula, I got to ask the question, how do people get your music?
You can go out to Spotify, iTunes Music. You can also go to YouTube Music. You can go to iHeartRadio, and you can download my songs there. One of the best songs that I love that I didn't co-write, I had a total of four songwriters. But the best song that's out there that I've gotten a lot of vibrations from, and I love it, is titled "Ne Jeuner." The song is about the lady that wrote the song. Her name is Marilyn, but she prefers to go by MJ. It's about her sister who at the time was on drugs,
Mm.
and Marilyn was trying to help her sister. And singing keeps your mind at peace and keeping you young. Yes, my dear, I am young.
Yes, fabulous.
And it does keep you at peace, yeah, except for when you haven't rehearsed enough.
Hmm. Yes.
So that song "Ne Janae" is about Marilyn's sister who was on drugs, and Marilyn's trying to help her, but she's resisting. So the
Okay.
song is like play on words. So it's not come out, get off a drug. It's a play on words the way Marilyn wrote the song. So don't expect to be, oh, come off of drugs, my dear sister. It's a play on words. She uses words like, oh, I forgot the song.
That's okay. If they want to hear it, they can go over to your channel and look for it or look you up on any different social streamings.
Go ahead. Diana Ross, Donna Summers, and Shaka Khan duet songs.
Who
Now,
would you choose?
no, Nana, Donna Ross, I will, but Shaka Khan, no, no.
Yeah, Diana Ross.
I can do Donna Summers, but I'll tell you about that. There were three ladies I wanted to be like so much: Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, and Gladys Knight.
Hmm.
I wanted to sing like them so bad. I just felt I could not sing unless I could sing like them. And then I had to come to realize, Paula, you sing like you sing. Now,
Hmm.
I won't tell you why because somebody might get offended. So I won't tell you. I had some bad feedback on my voice. So what you doing down there? Get on in the window. I'm talking to my cat. She ran off though. But so I had to come to realize you're you. Those ladies are who. Ain't nobody can sing like Aretha Franklin, and ain't
No.
nobody can sing like Shaka Khan, and ain't nobody can sing like Gladys.
Yeah,
Those,
you have to sing like yourself. You have to be yourself.
yes, you do. So when I came to realize that I had to sing like Paula, then I started learning. Okay, you suited for jazz, as this gentleman here in Florida at a record company told me. He said, "You sound like such and such," which was Dakota Staten. And when he let me listen to her CD called, I think it was Broadway, I said, "Oh, I do sound like her." And that's kind of how I realized you need to be singing jazz. So,
Yeah. So you found your niche.
yes, I did. And I
Yeah.
love classic jazz. I love it.
Yeah. So I have one last question for you, Paula. Is there anything that you want to share that helped you on this topic of personal growth to achieve your goals?
Yes, if you want to pursue your goal, you got to remember you got to help others. Because if you stingy about helping others, as I ran across musicians, there was this one musician, I just went to hear him play, and I think he asked me, do you want to sing?" And so I did Summertime, and a lot of people liked the way I sung the song, and he got an attitude. I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? You can play an instrument. I can't play no instrument. Nah, stop that. So be willing to help others to move forward. If you tight on the, so sometimes we can help people with money, but mostly with knowledge, you're not gonna get anywhere. And if you do get somewhere, the people who are giving, they're not gonna help you. They're not
Right.
gonna help you. So,
Right.
and I want to say hello to everybody and thank you so very much for coming out. I know Marlene appreciated it, and I was praying that people would come so they, build her channel up as if she needs it. She doesn't really need it, but
Ah, ah, girl, I need it.
And I've enjoyed this. I was so scared of my wits. Oh my goodness. I
She
couldn't
was so
believe
scared, y'all. Didn't she do well? Tell Paula she did well. Tell her. So yeah, Paula, tell them again about your channel, when you upload, all of that. All of that.
Well, I try my best to upload every Thursday at 2 o'clock. And again, my channel is about me as a singer songwriter doing classic jazz songs. Now, the reason why I have to only do the classic jazz songs from way back in the day, I don't want to get a bonk. You doing what? Somebody else's music? Oh, we're gonna cut you off. So I can't do the classic R&B songs. The music is too new. So I have to do songs that's from the 30s back. But most of the classic jazz tunes you've heard, if you like My Funny Valentine, Shaka Khan did that. Um, so that's what my channel's about. It's about me having conversations with myself after gigs I've done. There's funny things as I mentioned to you about the guy who told me what he did. And then there's one along with that with the lady, what she told me when I was singing. I'm not gonna tell you about it, but it's kind of funny, but I was a little teed off when she told
Mhm.
me. So there's videos about me singing, conversations I have with myself. Now, as I started from the beginning, there's things about me and Lily. So if you don't have a cat and you're not interested, that's fine. About me cooking, she did it. Oh, thank you, Miss Full Roller. And there's one funny video of me. I made some tomato soup from scratch.
I saw it, Paula. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna keep quiet.
Woo! That's all I can say.
That's all we gonna say, right? So
Bye. Let's talk about it with Anita. Have a good evening.
yes, guys. So I just want to say go over to Paula Benson's channel, check out her videos, subscribe to her channel if you have not already, and buy some of her fabulous songs or CDs. Um, um,
Everybody.
if you go over to your channel, is it on your about section how they can buy it?
Well, if you go to the channels, well, the stations I mentioned, which is not stations, but YouTube Music, you can download that, but you can't actually get any physical CDs anymore. They're out.
Hmm.
I'm not doing anymore the
Yeah.
first CD, but you can download them Spotify. And I will also say when you go to Spotify, iTunes Music, iHeart, that helps me out a lot, greatly, greatly, greatly. Thank you very much, Rochelle. Oh, and I love that flower in your hair, and I love your hair as well.
Yes.
So you'll be able to download the music, and that way you can hear me all the time, and you won't have to worry about me saying, I'm a little tired. I can't sing right now.
Paula, we're going to have you back for a different interview, and we're going to talk about other topics, like something else on another topic. So I've enjoyed it. We're not going to get into anything else, but we got to have you back.
I got stories. Ooh, I got
I know
stories.
you got stories. That's why I say I'm not going to tell them. You got to come back.
Oh, thank you again, Miss Florola, for being and supporting me, everyone. And I hope you guys enjoy your meal. Edward Smart, I see you a lot on Miss Florola's show, so thank you very much. And I have been out on your channel. Let me ask you: Are you Do you fly planes? Are you a pilot?
He's a student pilot.
Oh, okay. Um, can I get a ride somewhere to Atlanta?
This has been great, Paula. I'm going to speak to you offline. Don't leave yet, but I'm going to
Okay,
end the show.
okay.
So I thank you guys for coming. Head on over to Paula Benson's channel. And next up is the Outstanding Featured Channel Member Show, which is going to start in 9 minutes. I thank you guys for coming, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks, Paula.
Bye bye. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, let me get my commercial up. Uh,
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive.